I hope you're ready to look like a dork because that's what's going to happen. You're going to need a straw for these exercises, and you're going to sound silly, you're going to look silly, and you're going to just have to deal with it. So these exercises are mostly going to be geared towards helping you strengthen the upper part of your vocal cords that you will be wanting to use to speak in a higher voice. This is one of the best ways to help strengthen those simply because if you took choir, then you probably had an exercise where you're supposed to breathe in like through a straw and breathe out like through a straw, because having that limited amount helps create some resistance and helps to strengthen them a bit more, and I'll get into some more things with that later. Essentially, there are three main exercises that you'll want to do with the straw, and all of them just involve simple humming through the straw. You just put it in your mouth between your teeth and just and so the first exercise is based off of I hit the piano is based off of what we were talking about before with the different pitches between the voices. The tone that you're, or the pitch that you're picking, you just find that on the piano, find that on a virtual piano or whatever, try to match that note, and then you want to hum that note through the straw. And you don't want to hum it for too long, you don't want to just go until you're out of breath. Usually the best idea is hum it for about 10 seconds at a time, take a breath, hum it some more, take a breath, just so you don't tire yourself out too quickly, so you just... That's just to focus on that specific part. But because the goal is you want to be able to go up and down with your voice, and so you want to practice going up and down, and using the straw is a good way to do that. And this one, you don't need to pick any specific pitch or anything. You don't need a piano or anything. You just go from a lower voice to a higher voice. So you literally just go, and you just do that several times, usually for about a minute or two. And then you switch, and then you go the opposite direction. You start high and you start going down. And you just do that for a minute or two, take a break. It's up to you how much you want to do it. Ideally, if you want to practice as much as you can, 1 to 2 minutes a day is fine on that exercise. With any exercise, 1 to 2 minutes is about what you'll want to do, and you'll want to do it as often as possible because, like I said in my introductory video, it took me several months just to get my voice to where it is right now. The last exercise is totally up to you, which is humming a song through a straw. And because you're going to be trying to get your voice to be higher, you want to pick a song that has a higher pitch. So for instance, when I was doing it, what was suggested to me was humming the national anthem, but it can be anything as long as it's a high enough pitch, as long as you're not using the chest voice that we talked about. And just hum along. Usually, if the song is long enough, just hum along to it twice. But then there is a second part to these exercises that you don't want to do right away, but when you've gotten used to them, is to help that strength. And this I personally didn't do when I did the exercises. I don't know what that was. But what I've heard some people do is they will take the straw and then they will put it in a glass of water, just a small amount of water, and then do it to the resistance of the water. And that also can help strengthen things. You don't want to use a lot of water, because if you use too much, it's going to be too much strain on your throat. Like, you don't need this much of a glass. You only need probably about that much to get a good amount of resistance on doing it. The good thing is, when you're doing it without the cup, you can do this whenever. I used to hum on my way to work. So just do it as often as you can, whenever you can, and make sure that anyone you live with knows you're going to do this, or do it when they're not around, because I did it with my husband around and he would make fun of me. So practice as much as you can with it, and I will let you know some more exercises later.